Welcome, everybody. This is kind of my introduction. I am starting a show. I felt like a podcast, and it's going to be around like relationships. And I wanted to kind of introduce myself a little bit to kind of just be like, hey, here's kind of like what I'm going to call it a season zero. My idea is that season zero will be a way for me to kind of introduce myself to the audience or for people who discover content later on YouTube or TikTok that they're going to be able to see clips or see the basically like an introduction of who I am or to kind of like get to know me in a way or to know where my angle is on these things that I'm talking about or I guess for like what qualifies me, that's not really good because I'm not a professional, right? I got notes I'm gonna be glancing down at because I'm kind of new to this whole thing. First off, I'd like to say that my name is Nick. I have gone by a different name online before. I went by CM Spider when I was doing like gaming stuff. People find me or like, hey, like, kind of looks familiar. It's me. I just this has been heavy on my heart as far as relationships and dating and what it looks like and how we're always getting fed all this different stuff about what relationships are and what they should be or what they shouldn't be and what's healthy and what's toxic and what's all these different things and we get thrown all these buzzwords and all these crazy sort of like it's like we're fed all this stuff, right? We're fed all this different stuff, and we're supposed to just take it and like know what to do with it. And so I think that I want to do like interviews. I want to do so like interview content. I want to do reactions. I want to do the kind of like the I guess the meat of the stuff would be whatever I'm making as the seasons, like season zero. Have like this episode is going to be all about the introduction of me and who I am, and just like a general synopsis of a lot of the stuff so far. So I have like my name's Nick. I don't feel comfortable at this time sharing like my full name and stuff. I've always kind of been a little bit more of a private person, and then I kind of got into streaming over the past couple of years, and so it's I'm not necessarily against sharing. Like I just don't want any I don't know like you hear about people doxing people and stuff like that, and I don't feel like sharing my location or my full name or I just there's some of my privacy that I still would like to keep, and I hope people respect that. But there's that. I'm not a professional, so that's one thing I wanted to make very clear, and I feel like is a very good disclaimer to have is that I'm not a professional, so I don't have a degree in something pertaining to psychology or or relationships or therapy or anything like that. I do not. I just find it very fascinating. I My moral compass is basically like developed off of the fact that I was raised as a Christian and I still am a Christian to this day. I don't feel the need to Bible thump or to throw my religion into into other people. Like I'm not going to force you to believe what I believe, right? The whole point of this content is so that we can learn together because I'm old enough that I feel like I think everybody feels this way that they feel like they should have been able to figure it out by now. Nobody's figured it out. Nobody's figured it out. Nobody's gonna like just magically at a certain age and you're like, oh, I have all of this wonderful knowledge now. It's not how it works. Not how it works at all. You're always gonna be learning. You're always gonna be getting better. You're always gonna find new perspectives. That's the big thing. Is for me, all these problems, well, a lot of problems in the world, people just don't have different perspectives. Like you don't have the different views, and I want to at least expose people to different views, different people's life stories, different reactions. I want to see people converse, and I love seeing you guys in the comments talking about different stuff. And I got today that I got a comment today that was somebody told me that I'm becoming somebody's favorite content creator, and I'm like I don't feel like I've started yet. You know what I mean? Like so thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I'm not a professional, but my moral compass is guided by the fact that I was raised Christian. So I still believe those values to this day. So for me, that's a big thing is that I like when I'm talking about my morals, what I think is right and wrong, like a lot of it does come from that, but I've also been like I'm old enough and I've been around long enough that I've developed beliefs and I've been able to back them up through critical thinking and logic and doing my own research and things like that. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first person to admit that I'm wrong. That's how I am as a person. Like if you can like, prove me wrong or show me how I'm wrong, maybe it's a better way of saying it, then I'm all ears for it. Like and I'll listen. And I would love to discuss those things with people. And I love that. That's part of this too, is you need to get those conversations going, all that different stuff, right? I had a few basic things about myself that I think I wanted to share so that you knew like where my angle is or like I'm coming from, right? Because I'm talking about relationships. I'm sure people are wondering what's my relationship status. And because if you have someone talking about relationships and you're like, oh, if you're talking about being married or you're talking about kids or you're talking about being in a long term relationship, well, have you done it like any of those things? Right. And I think that's a fair question to ask. For me, I am single. I my last relationship, I would say, I think that was like maybe like June was when she broke up with me. So like there's some bitter stuff there, but like whatever. Like I'm sure y'all hear about that at some point. This is not about that. We have the I don't have any children. I'm not married. My streaming experience kind of talked about a little bit, right? That I've been streaming for about 2 years, mostly gaming content. I have done some like just chatting, tried some different things, but I feel like this is going really well. So I'm really excited to see kind of where this goes over time, and I hope y'all can be with me for the journey. What else we have here? We had why do I make content? Why do it? Right? And that's a great question. The purpose of my content is awareness. Also, I'm a man, so I know that I'm gonna be taking a men's perspective on things, but I want to get women on the show to also get that women's perspective as well. I never want to speak for women or for a group that I don't that I'm not a part of, right? I don't want to speak on behalf of a group that I'm not a part of because I don't think that's right. I think I can have my opinions, and I think that should be okay to share my opinions. But I don't think that at the end of the day, like just have like actual man, all women or women should things like that. I don't know. I don't think that specifically is my place. But I do want to have conversations around those topics. And I mean, I think I have my. Let me grab my. I have like a mission statement. Maybe I'll throw it up like on the screen, like a cutscene or something. But I have a mission statement of basically my idea of what I want, like what my like mission statement of the content is. Kind of like a business, what's your mission statement, what's your goal, what's your purpose? And so, I mean, it's awareness, it's sharing, it's getting different viewpoints, it's learning myself along with other people, and kind of like we all know it's just hell out here trying to date, trying to have a relationship. Like the older you get, especially, like it's tough. People are in their phones all the time. They have ideas of what they think like a perfect relationship is, or what it should be, or what's okay and what's not. And so there's all these different things, and I want to be a voice in the crowd maybe, and hopefully I can find enough things to talk about, because I was joking with my friend earlier, like I can talk all day, right? But it's like when a camera's in front of me, I have a hard time keeping that up. And I think I'm doing better with being able to record the content like without it being live, but I still want to put live content. Like when we hit 1K on TikTok, we can do live streams. And I want to do just a bunch of like am I the asshole videos, or you could have like questions, like a question day, or callers on for like a show if we want to do a show maybe like a couple times a month or something. I don't know. Like I have a full-time day job as well. So this is kind of just something I'm doing on the side because it's a special place in my heart, and I feel like we need more people to be talking about this. I want people to know what a healthy relationship is. I want people to know what's a good mindset to have. What's like everybody's different, but there are right and wrong. Like abuse is never okay. Like if you're depressed because you're in a relationship that's not making you happy, there's got to be something like that can be done about that. Like there's so many different things that I want to get into. What was my next topic? Why did you name the show Nice Guy Problems? Nice Guy Problems, right? I was trying to think of a name for the show. I did a little bit of research. I don't think anybody's really done a lot with it. So like I don't know that it's been taken. So far I think I'm in the clear on that. But I'm really leaning into that because I've always been told I'm a nice guy, right? And it's funny because like I'm wearing this polo, right? And it's got this button all the way up to the top, which I don't feel like I ever do. But but I've been really, it's warm, it's a flannel. I love it. It's been like in all my videos. I don't know. I'm really in love with the shirt right now. So like anytime I do videos, I put it on. But we're nice guy problems is because I've always been told I'm a nice guy. You ask anybody that knows me in real life, and they're like, he's a nice guy. And it's funny because there's a few things with that I had written down here. I've always been a nice guy. And I just can't stand the idea of hurting someone else on purpose, right? And I think that's like the core essence of being a good person or a nice guy. Being a good guy and being a nice guy are two different things, and we'll get into that at some point. But the like you're, I'm just your typical nerdy white guy. Love Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. I love video games. You know, love technology. I love all that stuff, right? Like I'm into cars. I'm not like I have tons of different interests, but just so you know a little bit more about me, that's kind of what I like. But you mean it's like I've literally had women tell me that I'm too nice to date, right? Or that how are you still single? Don't get me started on that one. Oh my gosh, how are you still single? Can't stand that shit. I know, ladies, like ladies, you might think that that's like a compliment, but like it's not to us. Ladies, when you tell us, I can't believe you're still single, or how are you still single? All we hear is you're not good enough for me. That's it, basically. That's what we hear. Like yeah, it's probably wrong, but it's one of those things where if you were into me, then you'd be like, "Oh, you're single? Hey, what's up?" You're not. You're you're like making sure that, "Hey, look, you're really cool." It's not cool enough for me. So that's always been one of those things that say nice guys finish last, because they do. Because nice guys finish at a later time in life, and there's a whole thing about that, but it's like when it comes down to it, it's not right. Like if you didn't appreciate this person, they were a good guy the whole time. And I feel like I've pretty much always been a good guy. I've lost my way and stuff here and there, but overall I've been a pretty nice guy, and I've consistently heard that throughout my life. And I'm just one of those things. I'm like, I'm just sick of it. You're not just a nice guy. I'm a good guy. And so I think there's tons of people out there, tons of men that feel that way out there. And I think that there's definitely a way for us to kind of talk about that, because there's nice girls too. I mean, like it's not just guys. Like I know that, but I'm a guy. I'll talk from my perspective. Like, right? Dude, what did I have next? Basically, it's just a complicated situation to be a nice guy that wants love, and we're told all these different things that women like nice guys and treat women nice, and it seems to backfire quite a bit. It doesn't get the results that men typically are looking for, I think. And so it's definitely just one of those tough things. Let's learn about it together, and maybe we can find some different perspectives on it as we go through the process and journey. Let's see. I did want to just touch a little bit on my childhood, because of course childhood does have a big impact on who you are, in your life. As a child, I was very, very sheltered, right? So I was never really taught a lot of things, especially about social or dating or girls. Like my parents met in high school, blah blah. So it's just one of those where, for me personally, I didn't really have my parents had little to no advice on dating for me at all. Like I would ask things. They didn't let me date for a very long time until I was in like my late teens, 17 type thing. I don't know. My very sheltered music, movies, or any cultural stuff, because of course again I was raised Christian, like, and they were very sheltered on all of that, like movies we watched, everything. So it was very tough for me to play catch up as I got older, and then especially for like social things like dating. Like I don't know, I didn't like I was taught to be polite, but I don't know that I was ever taught what to do to court a woman, right? I had to learn that from other guys or social situations, or by just like going through it and like messing up or something. So it was definitely tough. It's definitely tough to not have that guidance and not know. I don't have a relationship with my parents. Like they don't talk to me at all. So, that's one of those things too, where I have a little bit of a disconnect with family. So if I ever come across cold on family things, that's probably why. Is because I just don't have that myself. It's tricky sometimes to always feel for those things that you don't have, right? Which is why I'm looking for those other perspectives. You keep it in perspective. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be here. So I mean, that kind of goes into like my dating experience. Like, when did I start dating? I had my first girlfriend, I think, when I was like 16, maybe 17, something like that, I think. Like it was definitely late teens. And then it was like someone that I think I went to church with or something. Like it was early. That was my early dating, and very parental supervision, all that stuff. So overall, not very good experience until I got out on my own. And then it was a lot of people just looking for you get laid, or it just wasn't very fulfilling, wasn't very like good relationships. I learned a lot along the way, can you say? But overall, I think I had on here a lot of self learning through all of that. My longest relationship has probably been just under a year. So I personally haven't had a very long term relationship. And I think I'm a rather smart guy and rather like emotionally intelligent and things. So I don't know if that like reflects on me in some way. I know I'm rather picky on who I date, so that can kind of be a thing too, especially now that I'm a little bit older. I have to feel like I need to be more careful because I've had women take advantage of me for money and things like that that I'm still paying for. So it's kind of a tough spot to be in. Like let people in, so you kind of got to be a little bit more picky or cautious, maybe is the right word. And so for that reason, because of some of those things that have happened, it definitely has affected how I go into the dark, how I go into the dating marketplace, so to speak. How I go into that sort of like you meet somebody and like more cautiously than I probably ever have been in a way, and trying to make sure that you're not wasting your time or you're not overextending or getting too attached too quickly, stuff like that. So it's definitely a part of it. What am I looking to get out of this series? What I'm looking to get out of this whole podcast show is, one, to find like-minded people, two, to have an impact on relationships so that people can perhaps see different perspectives or understand, more than just their perspective. And we're all going to learn stuff along the way, I would imagine. I know I will. I know I will. And it's not going to all be roses and it's not going to be all good. I'm sure we'll have people at some point, the haters or whatever you want to call them, the people that maybe don't agree with some of us, and that's fine. It's going to stoke discussion. It's fine, and we're gonna figure it out along the way. And I don't really like drama. I'm not really a drama person, but being on the internet kind of comes with drama. We're gonna work our way through it together as we go. But that's kind of what I'm looking to get out of it. Beyond that, let's see. Yeah, like what I wrote down here as a note was, I don't want anything but positive growth in myself and others through this experience. I want to show others that love is possible. And that's really what it is. Like, it's still possible. Like, you see a lot of stuff, a lot of like extreme views and a lot of like way left or way right, or you see like the red pill content, blue pill content, or whatever, you want to call it. And you get kind of like where, okay, oh shit, like everybody's like this. Like, wait, like y'all are out here like, no, and you're like, what's going on? There's no way that everybody's like this, right? No, like there's no way. There's no way. And they're not, okay? They're not. Everybody's not like that. But in a lot of those situations or a lot of those conversations we may have, like there are going to be some topics where it's just like, okay, so the general like middle, that's what we're talking about. And we're going to be talking about some generalized things, and we're not saying all men are this, all women are this. This isn't a man versus woman thing. That's not what this is, which I actually think is one of my points here. That's literally my next point. It goes right in my next point. This is not a man versus woman thing. That's not what this is. This isn't me taking a side. This is me presenting stuff. This is talking about things, stoking discussions, having debates, all of the above. It's about being entertaining, but also it's an important thing that we all want. We all want love. We all want to find that partner. We all want to find that some of us, that is our purpose in the world for ourselves and our life. And we need more people talking about it. We need more people being open to these things, being a little bit softer towards relationships. And I find myself being maybe sometimes more bitter towards relationships. And so I think this is also a way to help myself. And so I hope that you all can share this with me and enjoy it as much as I do, because I really love some of this stuff, like the psychology and the stats. And I'm a numbers guy at a point, so enjoy some good stats. But overall, I want to make it real. I want to make it very genuine. I'm a genuine person. I'm sure that comes across. So I'm as genuine as I feel like a person can be. I have no reason to lie to anybody. I have no reason to be manipulative. I know at some point, there's people will support, right? I think this is a worthy cause. At some point, there's going to be ways to support and monetize and things like that. And I'm not doing that for personal gain. That stuff's all just to help support, because if I could just do this all the time, if people are enjoying content to where I can just make content, then that's a dream come true for a lot of people on the internet. So I'm not going to sit here and lie. It's not going to be something that I would dream for, because that'd be awesome. But it takes time, and there's things like that. And so this is going to be a side thing that I do on the side on top of my day job, and I work full-time jobs. This isn't necessarily to supplement that. This is to because it has a purpose, because it has a place in my heart, and I want to help and share with others. And that's what this is. It's definitely not a man versus woman thing. It's nothing like that. And some people may ask, what qualifies me, right? Like qualifies me to speak on these things. Some people may ask, what qualifies me to speak on these things? Like what, like who are you, right? Nothing. Nothing qualifies me. Zero. There's nothing. I don't have a degree. Like I said before, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a nothing, right? I'm just a guy. But I like to think I'm a pretty smart guy. I like to think I have some pretty cool perspectives. I like to think that people like how I talk, and people generally do like me. And I think that I would like to be a face for that. And I would like to be a person who can bring some of this information to you, have discussions. I'm typically somebody who is more of a leader in things. I hope that for time and stuff that you can show that maybe I deserve that respect of things that I talk about and whatnot. But it's not my goal, I guess. It's you kind of said it. It's to help other people. It's to gain different perspectives, all of that. I'm really excited to see kind of where everything goes. What qualifies me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm a normal, genuine guy. I want to have conversations that make people look at things in ways they never would have otherwise. I enjoy meeting new people and learning about different ways of looking at things. Everyone has a perspective, and sometimes that's all you need is a new perspective. And that's kind of how I feel. That was really all I had. I just wanted to, say again, not a therapist, doctor, or professional of any kind. These are all my own thoughts, ideas, and advice. It all comes from me as an individual, from Nick, not from some PhD or anything like that. I hope that this was a little bit of an insight into myself, and hopefully I can edit this up and get it out there so that people hopefully can enjoy it in a format that is palatable. And I know that this was probably the longest video that I will drop on these accounts so far. So I just want to say thank you for being here. If you watched through the whole thing, feel free to hit that like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any ideas of what you'd like to see in the upcoming content or subjects, maybe different things like that. At some point, we may even open up the email so people could email in and do stuff like that. But until then, I will see you all next time or in the comments on some of the videos. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all on the next one.